and out of a chair. So let's look at that. Start by seated and just roll around on your hips and pay attention to how your torso and your belly feel as you roll around one way and then the other. So reverse the circle and come back to center where you feel about even on your sitting bones, even on your sitting bones. As we talk about the breath, and you can kind of swing your arms forward and back. As we talk about the breath, sometimes we're talking about the exhale in a way that relaxes us. So it relaxes the nervous system. But there's another important point, and let's circle one arm around and then the other. There's another important point to the exhale, and that is it can help us build strength. So we take an inhale and the belly expands. At the end of the exhale out through our nose, you can pull your belly in and up, and that brings in some toning. And both arms, circle them around and about. You can go nice and big and lengthen outward and upwards and really make a big circle with your arms. We're actually making two circles. And let's reverse it. There you go. No, there's no right or wrong with this. And come back to center. So let's use cat-cow as the way to really turn into our exhales. I'm going to turn to the side because I think you get a better view. So the inhale is the cow pose. This is the cow pose. It looks like this. We're making a C. We're making a back bend. Now we're going to roll the spine and go into the cat pose. So you're pushing your ribs back and your shoulder blades are moving apart. But this is the place where we take the exhale. So let's come back to cow. Sitting bones move back, shoulders move up and back. On the cat pose, take your exhale all the way out and pull your belly towards your spine. Feel that pulling in and up. And let's go again. Inhale, heart rises upwards. You're going to feel a little stretch in your belly. And then on the exhale, at the end of the exhale, pull the belly in and up. And let's lift back to neutral and circle the shoulders around and about. Now, what's really cool about the block is it helps to engage the inner thigh, which is really part of our core. So the inner thighs right here are part of the core. Move yourself so your hips are a little bit forward in the chair and place the block in between your thighs like a Pez. And take an inhale without dropping the block. Feel the expansion, meaning there's no squeezing right here. It's just gently inner thighs are towards the block. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Now, as you breathe out, squeeze the block and pull your ribs back and your belly in. This is the key to core. Let's do that again. Everyone's always like, what's core? What's core? When you're seated and you're standing, you are engaging your core. Yes, there are other exercises that will help us engage it as well. But you can do this seated and standing. And this is what's going to help you get up. Try not to use the upper body to lift. Right. Give yourself a hug like this. when we're trying to get up, or use a chair in front of you, or I'll show you another option with the cane. All right, so inhale, we feel expansion without dropping the block, but we're not hugging it as hard. On the exhale, blow out through your nose with your lips closed. Feel the ribs move back towards the spine. Your belly's moving towards the spine as well. So you got belly moving back and ribs moving back towards the back of your shirt. That's where we get that cat. So shoulders round, chin to chest. You're leaning back on your sitting bones. Now in cow, we're releasing that pulling in with such strength. There's still going to be some, but we'll get to that after. That's a little bit more advanced. First, we want to get to focusing on pulling the core in on the exhale. Breathe in. We've got expansion. Belly's expanding. As we breathe out, belly's moving towards spine and ribs are pulling back. Let's open it up. That's the inhale. Open your arms. And on the exhale, pull the belly in and the ribs back. Open. And close in, but really focus on belly pulling in. Open it. Spread the fingers wide. You can lift the heart here. You can feel the sitting bones moving back. Exhale, pull in. Really pull that belly in towards your spine. And let's come back upright. We're going to just play with, and if the block is bothering you, you can take it out and take a break. But, and then put it back in, because the idea is that if your muscles learn how to do this action, then even when the block isn't there, they're still learning. We're going to rock forward and back, and you can keep your hands on the side of the chair. So you're rocking back, and then as you rock forward, the weight comes forward in your feet and your sitting bones. We rock back, the weight's going to the back of the sitting bones, and we're off our feet, like they feel a lot lighter. So here we are back, and here we are forward. Now, generally, we're going to take an exhale back and an inhale forward. Exhale back and inhale forward. Breathe in and breathe out. There we go. And now we're going to play with lifting up as we come forward like that. I'm going to turn to the side again because I don't know if you're seeing that. So here we go. We're rocking forward and back, holding onto the side of the chair. This is the rock back. Here's the forward. Maybe lift your sitting bones up. Try not to use your shoulders though. So your hands are holding it, giving you a little bit of balance, sense of balance, but you're not using your upper body. Focus on your exhale and using your core, and push down through your feet. Feel your feet. So here we go. We're forward, belly's pulling in. Maybe your hips lift off, and maybe they only lift off a teeny bit. That's okay. So inhale back, exhale, pull in and up, lift. Yep, so it's not necessarily a big movement, but notice what's working when you come up. Take a little pause and notice. Even if you don't come off the chair, like right here, I'm barely off of it, but I can feel my thighs getting stronger and working. That is the key. So here we go. We rock back. We rock forward. Feel the quads. They are working. Feel the weight. It's probably more towards your heels. That's okay. Come on down. This is hard work. This is not easy work. So here we go. We lift off. Now maybe we hold it. If you feel safe, you might take one arm forward or put it at your hip or put it on your thigh. Maybe you take both. onto your thigh, or both arms forward, and then slowly lower down. So it's not that when we do the more controlled down, that is also building strength. Now, it's kind of nice to use the cane or a stick. You can use really anything. So if you have a cane, it's perfect. And you're holding on to the cane, and you also actually could hold on to the strap. I'll show that after. But here we are. We're rocking back, and then we rock forward, push down through the feet, belly pulls in, and release. This will help. Holding on to something like this helps your proprioception, your balance. We rock forward, we come on back. You can try to angle this stick upwards like that. So going up a little bit will give you a little momentum too. Here's what it looks like with the strap. You could even do it with a block. I'll show you. So here's the strap. I'm pulling it taut. It's in front of me. I rock forward and back and lift on up. Feel those quads working as the sitting bones are moving back. Pull your ribs back. That's a lot to do. Let's come back down again. That is a lot. A lot. We're pulling the ribs back. So this time when we come up, focus on that. Whether you're going to use the stick, the strap, or hands-on chair. Pull the ribs back as you lift up on the exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, pull ribs back, push down, rise, and lower. I feel an Oscar trying to get in here. Both of my fur balls are with us today. Ribs pull back, arms are forward, pull the tie taut. Release. Let's give our thighs a break. We'll do something else for a bit, and we'll come back to that. We will come back to that. All right, Oscar, you're in, but you can't come in and out.
Mindy?
All right. Maybe you don't today. Maybe you don't. You guys better behave.
Mindy?
Yes.
Can you isolate work around the waist? When I do like half moon or curves or anything like that, I tend to collapse instead of being comfortable lengthening both sides of my waist. Does that make sense?
That's key. It's key. So let's look at that. We want to not collapse in here, right?
Right.
So we're lifting up and out. I'm a little chilly, which is why I've got my jacket on here. But so the zipper doesn't want to. I'm trapped in the jacket. Here we go. All right. So here's the top of the pelvis bone, and here's the bottom of the ribs. Take your fingers and feel the bottom of your, or the top of your pelvic bone, and then use your thumb and touch your ribs. And we want to keep that long. We want to keep that long. So how do we do that? We've talked about this. It's been a while, but we call it we call this side bodies long, where we want to get real long through the sides of the body. When we pull that belly and ribs in and up, keep lifting up and out of it. Get super duper tall. So there is work going on in here to keep lifted, but it's not from the shoulders. It comes from here. We some types of yoga call this inner body bright. So think about this part getting really bright rather than closing in. This is all work. This is all work. Let's play with this idea. Rock forward and back, and you might keep your hands on your ribs and keep that long. Don't let it get short. Now, let's move on to a few different moves, keeping this idea. Lower the arms down by the side. Inhale, spread your wings. Lift upward, but relax your shoulders down. Side bend towards your right. Now, pull the belly in and up here, and notice how you're getting really long on the left side of your body. We want to make sure this right side doesn't collapse like that. So the belly pulls in and up, which helps us to stay upright. Let's inhale and rise. Exhale other way. Side bending now towards the left. The right side of the body is getting super long, but we're not shortening here. I keep my fingers in there and really pull and lengthen the top of the hip crest and the bottom of the ribs. Inhale, rise up. Hands at the heart. This is a lot of work. I can't emphasize that enough, that these little things, they seem like little things, but they're really big. Let's do the side bend again, and imagine that you have sticks, and it's not going to let you collapse here. You're not allowed. Inhale, arms out to the side and upwards. Side bend towards your right, but keep the right side of the body the way you're going, strong and long. So there's a lot of space there. Inhale, rise, side bend towards the left. Keep that space. Breathe in and breathe out. Rise back up, hands at the heart. Lift your heels. Push down through the balls of your feet. So big toe across the pinkies, both sides. Now, when your heels push up and your feet press down, take that reverberation all the way up to your body as you lift up here. Exhale, lower the heels down, but keep the lift in the upper body. Notice it's not the shoulders going up, it's this inside going up. Let's inhale, take the heels up and the arms forward. Exhale, swing the arms back, lower the heels. Inhale, arms lifting a little bit more. Exhale, heels down and arms back. One more, swing it on up. And let's find our twist towards the right. Left hand outside the thigh. This is an opportunity. Lift up tall through your spine and still feel the sides, these in between the top of the pelvis and the bottom of the ribs. It's tall. As you twist, neck turns last, use your neck muscles. Breathe in, breathe out, pull your ribs back. Now it's going to be a little bit different in a twist, but feel your ribs move back and broaden across the front of your body. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, come to center, and let's twist the other way. Now we've got the right hand outside the left thigh. We're going to grow tall before we even twist. Doesn't mean we're not already tall. We're just going to get even a little bit more space. Feel a ripple up through your vertebrae and twist towards your left. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Come back to center. In almost every pose, this is what we're doing. Let's open up into goddess here. Now, we're working core. We're also working leg strength. I was just reading an article. It's so beautiful. I didn't finish it because Scott wanted to turn the lights out last night. But it was on elephants in the National Geographic magazine. Really great article. Check it out. But we're going to imagine that we've got an elephant sitting here and an elephant sitting there. And that's pretty heavy stuff. So while the elephant's sitting on you, you're going to lift tall and lift your heels up. You're going to keep tall and you're going to lift up into the elephant's, what are we going to call that? Their foot. We'll pretend their foot is on there. Boy, if they're sitting on there, we're in really big trouble. Exhale, lower the heels down. Maybe they do. They're having a nice little seat on each thigh. Inhale, your thighs are rising into the elephant's buttocks. So you can use your hands and push down like you're the elephant. And then exhale. At the same time, go ahead, lowering the heels down, push your palms into your thighs and your thighs into your palms. That is an isometric that builds strength. Let me say that again. As we push up with our thighs, we're pushing down with our palms. That's the isometric. And then when we lower, we're pushing our palms still into our thighs. So watch this. Or you do it. Push your palms into your thighs, lift your heels up and feel your belly pull in and up. As you lower down, that elephant is still got weight on you, but you're going to go down slowly. Whew, that's the work. That is the work. Now, imagine you have a big beach ball in between your thighs. Hug your thighs into that beach ball, push your feet down, and pull your heels towards you. You should feel some good activity going on in the thighs, and then release it. It's a lot of work if you were to hold that forever, and you don't want to do that. If we hold something too long, then it becomes rigid. So we do want to practice releasing just as we want to practice activating. Push down through your feet, pull your heels towards each other. We're pressing our inner thighs into that ball, and then release. Now, you can also simulate that ball by putting the back of your arms into your thighs. Push the back of your arms into your thighs, lift tall, and push your thighs into your arms. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice how you're working. So you're pushing thighs into arms and arms into thighs. Now, push down through your feet and pull them towards you as you do this. This is a lot of work. Let's release that. Release that. This is just a lot of work. And coming up with this topic today. All right, now let's allow the left knee to go forward and the right leg out to the side. If you know your knee locks, meaning the thigh pushes back behind the shin and the calf, you want to put you could put a little block there to prevent the locking. When our legs are in a locked position, meaning the knees are really locked, it's hard to activate your muscles. So we don't want to lock. Then we're pushing down through the heel and pulling the heel towards us. We grow tall. Then release it. Push the heel down. As you push the heel down, touch your muscles on your thigh. You should feel like they're activating. Release. When you release, it softens. Let's do this again. Push the heel down, touch your thigh. Now let's lift up. Arms come into a big wide T. Push your palms away from you. Fingertips are upwards. Woo! Now we're getting strong in our arms. Pull the back of your hands towards you and then press away. Pull in and press away. Pull it in and press it away. Let's take our hands behind our head. If this is tough and you feel like you're needing to bend forward, lift the heart and try to press gently the back of your head into your fingertips, but your fingertips are supporting your head. You can also put your palms back there. You could use one hand and leave the other one down. Or if this is really like, I just don't want to do this with the hands behind the head, you could put your hands like this or like this, and we're going to tip down without using our arms and without falling. So we don't want to fall. Now push down through the left foot and the right heel to rise up. So here's what it looks like with hands behind head. We tilt towards the right, the belly pulls in and up, the left foot pushes down. We pull that heel towards us. Breathe in And breathe out, press down, rise up, extend the arms. Extend them. Okay, here we go again. Fingertips behind head. Ooh, we're lengthening towards the right. We're pulling the belly in. We're pulling the ribs back. This time, gaze down, curl your spine. If your hands are behind your head, curl down your elbows and move down. If your hands are down here, you're just curling in, chin towards chest. And then let's open it up. Open up your wings. Press down, rise up. Now, another way to strengthen the legs is to pull this foot towards you slowly. Step the foot down and then pull it so the heel goes underneath your knee. Let's try that a few times. Extend the leg out, then press the foot down and drag towards you. One more. Take the leg out and then pull the heel underneath your knee. Let's bring this foot forward. And let's loosen up a little bit. So take the left leg out to the side, bring it back in. Take the right leg out to the side, bring it back in. So we're using some big movements here. Knee lifts, opens, places. Lift, bring it in, place it down. In, up, down, up, in, down. Now, watch this. You're going to push your hand into your thigh as you lift it up. Stop tall. Inhale, lift the knee. Push your hand into your thigh. Keep your shoulder back. Open it up. Still push into your hand. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift it up. Push down. That elephant is on your thigh. Oh boy, that's really something. Pull it in. Lower it down. Inhale, knee lifts. Take it out to the side. We're pushing palm into thigh, thigh into palm. Bring it back. Lower it down. Inhale, it lifts. Outwards. Inwards. Lower it down. Give yourself a little break here. Push your heels in towards each other and toes out. We are in butterfly pose. Maybe shift your hips back onto the chair. Hands at your hips. Ribs back. Let's lean forward just a little bit. We're pushing down through our feet. Our shoulders are on our back. And then push down and rise up. And lower legs. Let's stretch the legs out. All this contraction can tighten. It's going to tighten them up a little bit. So we need to make sure that we keep them loose too. By the way, if you feel any cramping when we're doing these poses, the best thing you can do is release it, stretch it out, and then go back into it. There's different beliefs about whether to stretch before or after. I think after is a definite. Before could be harder to activate the muscles, but if you know you cramp up, I would stretch before. Or maybe during if they start to cramp. Place the strap around the bottom of the foot. And if you have a chair in front of you, you can, or sofa, ottoman, you can rest the foot on that. Otherwise, we're lifting up. Now, we want to stay tall here. So no leaning back, no leaning forward. Keep tall through the sides of your body, that inner body, right. We're lifting, we're pushing the heel away. Now, here's another strengthener while you're stretching. Imagine you're pushing your foot into like a counter and push down, but keep the leg lifted. Push the back of the heel down into that imaginary counter and notice how your muscles activate. Then imagine that somebody's got their hand on the bottom of your foot and they're pushing into your foot and you're pushing into their hand. Another strengthener. Let's turn the toes out and the heel in. Keep the shoulder back. So do what you need to do so that you don't feel like you're stressing out here in the upper body. Inhale, toes lift. And give it a break. Open and close the legs. Another side. Then we're going to do some standing. So strap around bottom of foot, cross the strap, place it on something in front of you or not. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, pull the ribs back and lift tall through the inside of your body. Push the big toe mound away from you. The pinkies are spreading and maybe out to the side. If it doesn't happen, it's really okay. Just picture it. Picture it in your mind's eye. You're pressing the heel into that hand. You're pushing the whole foot really into the hand. But then the hand that's here is pushing into your foot, and you're feeling this isometric. It's like the elephant is standing in front of you and you're pushing into the elephant who won't move. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's turn the leg outwards and feel that nice stretch. Keep tall through the inner body. Keep tall through the inner body. Inhale, toes back upward. Release the strap and open and close your knees. Let's go back to chair pose as we lift up. So you may have a chair or a wall in front of you for the practice. You may be holding onto a stick or a strap. We're going to show it first with the block, and then we'll do it with the strap. So here we go to rise up. We're also going to stay up for a bit, no matter where you're at. Doesn't matter if your hips are off or not, you're going to hold this muscular action of lifting up. So hands either on the chair or hold your cane or stick or strap. And here we go. We rock forward and we rock back. And then get ready to stick it, meaning you come up a little bit, hug your block, lift your torso upwards as you pull your ribs back. Woo! And exhale and lower down. It's a lot of work. Now, it's a lot of work. I hope you're feeling the work. I'm feeling the work. Now, here's another direction. Not to give you too much. When you're coming up, imagine you're squeezing your outer hips towards each other. So there's going to be a contraction in your hips. Ready for this? Here we go. Now you can't see this on me, so I'll say it and you try to feel it. And it might take a while. So we're going to rock forward and back. And then as we come up, hug your outer hips. Feel like you're contracting your buttocks. Feel it. Breathe into it. Pull the ribs back. Inhale. Exhale. And slowly lower down. If you're not building heat, I'll tell you I am. I might even take this sweatshirty thing off, this fleece. Now, if you'd like to play with the strap around your thighs, you can do it, or you can release the block and practice without it. Now that you know what it feels like with it, you could practice without it. Here's the strap. I highly recommend you do this at some point because this is working on the outside of your thighs, and that's often where we need to strengthen. This is a really nice strap because I can really get that buckle to stay. So you want to find one that you can, or those elastic rubbery, stretchy things. That could work too, as long as it's tight around your thighs. So here we go. Got the strap on here, and I'm going to push out into the strap as we rise up. So here we go. We rock it forward, we rock it back, and we lift off. Maybe you come off, maybe you don't, but you're pushing your thighs into the strap. And then exhale and slowly lower down. Again, focus is on pushing the strap with your outer thigh. Try again. Rock forward and back. Push out into that strap. You will feel your muscles pushing against the strap. And then exhale and slowly lower it down. You will feel your legs working, I guarantee. Now you can at the same time hug your sitting, but hug your outer hips, but it's a lot to focus on. Choose one thing that resonates with you. Practice that. All of these different techniques are going to make you stronger. Lean forward and back. Come on up. Press thighs into strap. Maybe lift an arm or two. The longer we stay here, the harder it is. You can always take a break. How many breaths should we take? Felix and ask her, how many breaths should we take? They're not answering. Breathe in and breathe out, and then we'll slowly lower down. Oh my, I'm gonna release the strap and give it a break. Now we're gonna come on up and work our legs that way, and our core, of course. Move this out. Although you can always have two chairs. I just find it's hard for you to see me. All right, so we're facing the chair and we're in our wall dog. Hands come to the chair, walk your feet back. They've been working, your legs have been working hard. So we got to give them a little bit of a stretch. And at the same time, we're going to work those hips. So bending the knees, sitting bones back, get a nice stretch through your spine, and then slowly straightening, trying to keep that lower back curve. We also want to pay attention to the ribs. We don't want the ribs dropping down like that. Let me repeat that. We don't want the ribs dropping down like it's a hammock. We want the ribs lifting up. So sitting bones back, ribs lifting up, bending knees. And then inhale, slowly straighten. Exhale, bend knees, sitting bones back, ribs up. And walk in towards the chair. Oh my goodness. Shake it out, shake it out. Let's circle the shoulders around. Maybe one and then the other. Right? We got to keep it loose. Some of these movements are more static. They're a little bit more still. So add in a little bit of flowing when we do this. Whenever you're feeling like, oh, I'm getting a little stiff, move around. Doesn't have to be some fancy movement. Just get yourself moving. Now, we're going to face the chair. Hands are on the chair. Ribs are lifting towards the sky. Shoulders are on the back. That's a lot. That's a mouthful. And I realize that. Get your feet behind your hips. And like I said, maybe focus on one thing. So it could be get the ribs up, get the ribs so they're lifting rather than lowering. You can feel that if you take a hand back there. Or you could have somebody put their hand on your spine and then you would feel it too and they would feel it. Now, we're going to extend the right leg back like this. This is a balance pose. What are we doing here? We are strengthening the standing leg. Give the knee a little bend. You're strengthening this leg. And now slowly straighten it and slowly bend it. And slowly straighten it and slowly bend it. Then lift the back leg. Maybe it comes up a millimeter and maybe it comes up a centimeter and maybe it comes up towards hip height. These are all maybes. These are not must. Exhale, lower the toes down. Inhale, lift it up. What's working here? The standing hip for sure, the standing leg for sure. At the same time, feel like you're hugging the upper hip. So it's going to contract. Even if it doesn't lift up, feel like you're contracting that hip as you press your heel into the elephant's paw or belly and lower down. So you're pushing your leg up towards the elephant's belly. And release. Woo. This is where you're going to feel it on that standing hip. Let's do the other side. So we go back to our version of wall dog. And you got to find just that right spot because it's not too far back, although it could be. I'm not starting there. Our shoulders are just about over our wrists. We should be able to see our wrists. Then soften the standing knee. You're going to take the opposite leg back. Toes are slightly touching. Maybe you lift up a little bit and exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up and exhale, lower down. Breathe in. You're pushing the heel into the elephant's belly. At the same time, feel like you're contracting these hip muscles, your buttocks, gluteus, medius, and maximus, and I don't know, medius is kind of hard. I mean, minimus is kind of hard to get to. Lower the toes down if they're not already. Again, push up towards the elephant's belly. Soften the bottom knee. You might even bend it a lot. And that's going to bring more weight into that hip, and that's okay. Because it's a strengthening weight-bearing pose. And let's release and come back up. And let's do a little sun salute action to get some movement in. Inhale, one or both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, folding, hand to the chair or both hands towards your shins or your thighs. Release your head and your jaw. Push your feet down like you mean it. Pull your belly in and up and your ribs, lift them. Then lengthen your sides of your body. That's that inner body bright. That's the space between the top of your pelvic bowl, the bottom of your ribs. Lengthen that forward. Gaze forward and I'd say gaze forward about 4 feet or so. Keep the back of the neck long. Keep that length. Lower the spine downwards. Get a little bit of traction. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift up. Pull the ribs back. Lengthen through the spine. And exhale, release. Take one or both hands to your hips. Roll the shoulders up and back. Push down through your feet. Rise. Oh my. Oh my, that is a lot of work. Now, all the lunges that we do in the warrior twos, those are leg strengtheners. Let's do our lunge and feel it. Really focus on the strength in your legs. Hold on to the chair, the back of the chair or the seat of the chair. Right foot is forward, right knee bends, left leg goes back. Feel your lunge. Let's bend and straighten the front knee a few times to get a good stretch through the back half. Bending and straightening. Now, we can work our strength right here. Make sure the ribs aren't falling down. Lift them up. Think cat pose as you bend and you straighten. And you bend and you straighten. Then maybe you pivot the heel down, the back heel down, or you can lift it up. Maybe you come up onto your fingertips, but most importantly, pull the ribs back. Then maybe you walk your fingertips a little bit more towards you and lift the heart. This might be where you're at. You might adjust and bring the back leg back a little bit. This may be where you're at. You might lift one arm up towards the sky or forward. Maybe, these are all maybes. Guess what? That elephant is on your front thigh. You're bending your knee. That elephant is sitting on your thigh. Oh my goodness. Make one or both arms lift up. Find a spot to stare at. You can switch arms if you wish. Lower the hands down. This knee is bent. Feel it working. Push down through that foot. As you push down through it, Lift your belly in and up and your ribs back and step the left foot forward. We got to do the other side. Here we go. Left knee's bending, right leg is back. And make your adjustments. You want to be safe. You might walk your feet a little wider apart. You might bring it the back leg in because you just don't feel safe. That's the first step and the top priority. Then let's feel that elephant on the front thigh. We're in our lunge. We might come up onto our fingertips. Keep hugging your hips. Pull the left hip back. Hug your hips towards each other, outer hips towards each other. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pivot the back heel down. Oh yeah, stretch that back of the calf. Oh my goodness. Now, maybe you lift up for this warrior one. Pull the ribs back. Maybe that elephant is still on your thigh and you lift one arm up. You might switch it up. You might lift both. These are all maybes. You're keeping that knee bending over your ankle and your heel. Elephant hasn't moved yet. Take the fingertips down. Knee is bent. Feel the strength in your front thigh. You're going, when are we getting out of this? Step the right foot to meet the left. Come on up. You guys are working very hard. Very, very hard. This is Ganesha Mudra. Right hand in front of left. You're going to curl your fingers in towards your palms and pull them apart with the elbows dropping, your shoulders down. So you're pulling apart like you mean it. And you might go like this, like you mean it. Pull them apart, pull them apart. And then this is Ganesha Mudra. You can do this seated. You can do this standing. You can do this anytime you feel like you need to come into your strength. Ganesha is the elephant, mythical creature for Indian philosophy and stories. You can read a lot about Ganesha, but since I was reading that article from National Geographic, we might as well bring that hand mudra in. Shake it out and do the other side. So now left hand is in front of right and pull them apart isometrically. Try not to take the tension into your neck and your jaw. Keep it in your arms pulling away and your belly working as you do this. Shake it out. Lift your shoulders towards your ears and drop them down. And inhale and lift them. And exhale and lower them. Now, warrior pose is a great pose for strength. I love the wall. I can't stress it enough that practicing warriors and standing poses against the wall gives you another stability tool. We take our feet wide. We're getting ready for our warrior. Our feet are wide. Press them down. Then turn the right toes out. Your elephant is sitting on your thigh and your knee is moving over the heel. Your body is facing the long way. Pull the ribs back. Maybe you take one arm out to the side and gaze over your front fingertips. Push down through your feet. Push down through your toe pads. And isometrically pull your front heel towards your back. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. Now we could stay here a while because that elephant is having a good old time on our thigh. Or we can say, you know what, elephant, enough of you. Straighten the leg and take the right toes forward. Let's do the other side. So left toes out. Make your adjustments. Push down through your feet, your toe pads and your heels, bending the knee over the ankle and heel. Pull the ribs back. Breathe in and breathe out. Now feel your hips working. You can imagine that you're hugging your hips towards each other. There will be a contracting. Look over the front arm. If it feels safe to release it from the chair, maybe you take the back arm out to the side. Take a few breaths in your warrior. Elephant's having a good time on the thigh. Breathe in and breathe out. Try to feel a lifting up through the inner body. The sides of the torso are staying long. The crown of your head is reaching up as your front hip lowers down. Push down through your feet. Get ready to rise. Elephant is off of the thighs, all 10 toes forward. And bring your feet in. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of work, isn't it? We'll give that all a little break and we'll do some hip openers. Now I'm going to show you this against the wall just so you see it. Because we could do this hip opener there, or you can have a seat. You guys know number 4. I'm going to show it against the wall just in case some of you want to try it sometime. Make sure you're safe. The back is against the wall. This is a great place to practice chair pose. You got the chair here and your wall there. And then you can hold this and really practice that chair pose. So it's the lowering down just as important as the lifting back up. And see, I'm pushing my back against the wall. We exhale and we lower down. Now, we could play with lifting one heel up or the other. That's fun too. And I'm going to come on out of that and show this. It's going to be a tough, let me see. I'm going to show it over here. Most of you aren't going to do this now, so I'm going to do it fast just so you can see it. But you can have your hands on the wall and then lift your knee and place the ankle over the thigh. And this is that hip opener that we do in the chair. This is a nice way to do this pose. We've got the support of the wall, or maybe you've got your hands on a chair that's against the wall. Now I will have a seat and we will do number 4 together on the chair. If you guys want to practice that against the wall, you can.
Isn't that almost bonsai?
What?
Isn't that pose that you just did with putting your ankle on the number 4, but bending down? Isn't that bonsai? The pose? Know. I've heard it called because it's you're making yourself a tree into a tree.
Oh, that's cool. Never heard of that. We'll have to use that. So either foot is on a few blocks or a chair in front of you or a zappo, depends how tight your hip is, or lift the ankle up. Now we're in number 4 or gentleman's pose. We lift tall, we pull the ribs back. It's the same movement in most of these poses except Shavasana where we're relaxing. So our ribs are back. We keep them back as we lean forward until we find the stretch. Now, you can hug your outer hips towards each other here too. You don't have to. If you're going for a release, you might just let it go. But if you want to play with hugging the outer hips towards each other as you lengthen forward and down, you can check it out and see how it feels. Sometimes muscles stretch more when we contract at the same time. So it's not like it's a bad thing to do. Notice how you feel. It's going to be different. We're gazing forward and down. Stay in it for at least 30 seconds. That's why I talk a lot, to distract you while we're in these poses. I guess I talk a lot because I don't hear you guys talking to me. And we're going to push down through the bottom foot and rise up. And release and do the other side. So when we do all this strengthening, we have to take the time to stretch out a bit. It's really important. They're both super important, right? Like which one should I do? And you can vary it up. You guys do a lot of different things the other days, and that's all good. So you can just mix it up a bit, and then things that you want to work on, you can practice outside of our time together and just do maybe that pose or that practice and add it into other things that you're doing. So here we are, left ankle over thigh, ribs back, round tall. As we lean forward, we keep all of that. Maybe you hug the outer hips towards each other. You'll feel a little contraction, but mostly we're going for a stretch. Breathe in and breathe out for about 30 seconds. If you want, you can take your hand and press it into the thigh, not the knee, to help open a little bit more. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the sensation of the stretch. And when you think you've got it, or stay a little bit longer. See, you get to make the practice yours. You can always skip one of the poses we're doing. You don't have to do them all or come back to it at some point. Press down, rise up. We will put this Zafu back over in the corner, although you could rest your legs on it. And let's take a little rest before we end our practice together. You might want to put a blanket on you or make sure you're comfortable. And you might lean slightly back, but still keeping a tall spine. And perhaps you close your eyelids and focus on this bright light in your heart and in your belly. And feel this opening as you breathe in. So this light is expanding inside of you as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you send that light to people you love and care about. Those important people in your life, your neighbors, your friends, your family, your community. Breathe in, light expanding in the center of you and around you. And breathe out. Breathing in. Relaxing jaw and face, and breathe out. So when we're doing this resting pose, the exhale is soft. We're no longer pulling the belly in. I want to make that clear. When you're relaxing, you're not pulling the belly in. It goes down, but you're not pulling it in. Breathe in. Relax on the exhale. When the exhale is a little bit longer than the inhale, then you might even relax further. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathing in. And breathing out. Inward. And outward. Whole body relaxing. And you can stay here and rest, or join me in Namaste Anjali Mudra as we express gratitude for all of you, your presence, your inner strength, your inner light. I bow, honor, and respect it. My inner light shines to your inner light. And we make a big, big, big reflection. Namaste. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone. I'm here